Welcome back to today's Explainer. Today we're diving into a formula that literally shifts how you live your life. We are talking about reclaiming absolute, unquestionable personal independence. Sounds like a massive promise, right? But stick with me, because we're going to break down exactly how you can achieve this step by step. We're looking at the exact formula that takes you from feeling, financially vulnerable, to experiencing the kind of freedom that completely changes your posture, your confidence, and your daily peace of mind. Let's get right into it.
The formula for freedom. 50,000 rupees in your account, and no one else needed. Just let that sink in for a second. Now I know what you might be thinking. 50,000? That sounds totally unachievable right now. And yeah, it can feel like a mountain to climb. But today I'm going to show you exactly why this one specific number is the absolute most concrete, powerful symbol of freedom you can build. And honestly, here's the best part. I'm going to show you how this massive, life-changing journey actually kicks off with a highly accessible, almost unbelievably tiny starting point of just 500 rupees. Seriously, just 500.
Part 1. The Crisis. Kaveri's story.
So, let's set the scene here. Meet Kaveri. She's a 29-year-old teacher living in Jaipur. She brings in a pretty decent monthly salary of 28,000 rupees. But as a lot of us know all too well, by the time she pays her rent, buys groceries, covers her transport, and sends a little support back to her family, literally every single rupee is spoken for. At the end of the month, she might be looking at 2,000 or 3,000 rupees left over. And honestly, some months, she doesn't even have that.
And then, boom, a sudden crisis hits. One day, out of nowhere, the electricity meter at her house totally malfunctions. She gets this terrifying notice from the electricity board saying that, thanks to a billing error, she owes 8,000 rupees in pending dues. And here is the absolute kicker. She has exactly 3 days to pay it or her connection goes totally dark. Just imagine that panic. 8,000 rupees, 3 days.
Kaveri just didn't have it. Her account balance sat at exactly 1,200 rupees. This forced her into one of those incredibly heavy moments of absolute helplessness, where she had to swallow her pride and ask her father for a loan. Now, he gave it to her willingly, of course, but that night, Kaveri just sat there wondering, man, I've been working and earning for years. Why do I still need to ask for permission and rely on someone else's money for 8,000 rupees?
And you know what? That painful, frustrating question completely changed Kaveri's financial trajectory. From that night on, the sheer vulnerability of that moment pushed her to actually do something about it. She started funneling money into a completely separate account. That very first month, she scraped together just 500 rupees. The next month, 800, then 1,200, then 1,000. Sure, during some really tight months, she could only manage 400, or maybe skip a month entirely, but she kept showing up. Fast forward 18 months later, and she had quietly built up 14,000 rupees. And here is the really beautiful part. When her school's water purifier broke and the staff needed to chip in for the repair, Kaveri paid her share straight from her own account. No asking anyone, no awkward explaining, no needing permission. The actual amount she contributed was small, but the feeling of pure independence, that was massive.
Section 1. What is an emergency fund?
Kaveri's quiet victory perfectly illustrates the exact strategy we're talking about today. An emergency fund is, quite simply, a dedicated chunk of money reserved strictly for unexpected crises. Period. It does exactly one job. It sits there, totally out of sight, doing absolutely nothing until something completely out of the blue and urgent slams into your life. Now, it is absolutely crucial to separate this fund in your mind from all your other money. It is not an investment meant to grow wealth, okay? Because investments are usually locked away and hard to access when you're in a pinch. And it is definitely not your regular savings account meant for fun, planned goals like, a beach vacation, grabbing a new phone, or a friend's wedding. Your emergency fund is its own distinct beast, entirely separate from both of those categories.
And that brings us to a really critical part of this whole strategy. Let's walk through this matrix together, because you really have to establish incredibly strict mental boundaries for what actually justifies touching this stash of cash. A surprise medical bill? Yes, absolutely an emergency. A sudden job loss or a major essential car repair? Yes, for sure. But a sudden urge to book a weekend getaway? No way. A massive flash sale on those shoes you've been eyeing? Absolutely 100% not. I highly recommend actually writing down your own personal definition of an emergency, just like this matrix here, so there is zero confusion or debate when temptation strikes.
So let's talk numbers, because this is where people get tripped up. Standard financial advice always says to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up. If your monthly expenses are, say, 15,000 rupees, that means saving anywhere between 45,000 and 90,000 rupees. Let's be real. Just hearing a number like that can cause instant panic and make the whole thing feel completely impossible. which is exactly why we must relentlessly reframe our focus here. Yes, that big number is the ultimate, down-the-road goal. But your starting point? Your starting point is just 500 rupees. That's it. Just one little step to get the ball rolling.
Section 3. 5 simple, practical steps to build your fund today.
Okay, let's break out the playbook. Step 1. Open a separate zero-balance account. Do it online, it takes 5 minutes. Step 2. Set up automatic transfers so the money moves the literal minute your paycheck hits. Out of sight, out of mind. Step 3. Make access difficult. This is a pro tip. Do not even get a debit card for this account. Step 4. Define what an emergency actually means for you, just like we talked about with that matrix. And Step 5. Set small milestones and seriously celebrate when you hit them.
Section 4. The true power of the fund. This goes way beyond just money.
Because here's the thing. This strategy builds something far more valuable than just a balance in a banking app. Clinical research actually tells us that having a financial buffer directly, measurably reduces daily anxiety. When you know you have money that is yours alone, meant solely to protect you, your brain actually starts working differently. You find yourself thinking more clearly. You suddenly gain the ability to say no just a little more often. It creates this quiet, really powerful internal power shift. And this is especially profound for Indian women, who far too often find themselves in situations of deep financial dependency. Listen, you don't need to tell a single soul about this money. You don't need anyone's permission to use it. It is your ultimate, tangible proof that you can stand up on your own 2 feet when the unexpected hits.
Part 2. Today's essential homework. Let's start your journey.
All right, I want to challenge you right here, right now. Here is your 4-step homework for today. Number 1, do a quick, rough estimate of your monthly expenses. We're talking rent, food, transport, essential bills. Number 2, calculate exactly 10% of that number. That right there, that is your target monthly contribution. Number 3, open that separate dedicated bank account today or tomorrow at the absolute latest. And number 4, make your very first deposit. Even if it's 500 rupees. Heck, even if it's 200 rupees, just put it in. And hey, please drop a comment below letting us know you've set it up. Or if you already have one going, tell us how many months of expenses you've saved up. Let's build some real community accountability here, guys. Starting with 500 is something completely worth celebrating.
Let me leave you with this final, vital thought to chew on. 50,000 rupees in your account with absolutely no one else needed. That is the ultimate goal. But that incredible, life-altering journey to true freedom? It starts right now, today, with just 500 rupees. If this explainer gave you some value today, or sparked a little inspiration, please share it with a friend, your sister, your mother. It's such a small step, but it changes lives, slowly, quietly, and powerfully. So, the journey to freedom starts at 500 rupees. The only question left is, are you ready to take control?